Hello and welcome to another Run 8 video. We're still in Southern California, SoCal. And today I'm going to take control of a Z train, which is a container train, going to Chicago. I think it is. No, Memphis. So this train is going to go through Barstow and then like across the Needles subdivision. Now these, let me turn my flashlight on here. Not that it works much, but like these cars here, you can see like they're like the dull gray. Like these are basically just like placeholders. What that means is like there are specific cars here, but being as that I, as of yet, do not have the Run 8 cars available on this game. They put these here just as a generic thing to show that there's something here. Like, if you go further on down, you can see here where they actually do have the real cars that are like supposed to be here. The containers. Same thing with the train beside us, which is going to Chicago, by the way. Like, it's you can see they're up here to like a certain point. Like you got the containers, and then it switches over to these generic, like grayish-looking things. So let's go up here and. Inside. Let's engage auto.
And I even learned to see with total normality the remains of dark rituals on the sides of the roads, arts that were not viewed so badly by locals.
And then we will call auto and request clearance. Well, actually, before we do that, let's get out here and make sure that all these locomotives. We don't have to do a brake test before we leave because, like, the engineer and conductor would have done that. But let's make sure these are set up. This one isn't. This is to make sure that like all locomotives are set up the way they're supposed to be, and like, everybody's like going in the same direction. Like, and that is the last. Let's get back in. Now we're all set up and ready to go.
My best friend, always a step braver and more daring than I was. I remember when she proposed it on the school stairs.
502 George.
Her and myself. We finished school and to seek better
Go ahead, Adam.
and being a farmer.
Hey, come back here. Okay, come on back.
As I recall, not even mine, as interfering with the investigation was a remote idea. And as I said, I wasn't scared of those legends. The time would be that same Friday, midnight. In a small town at that hour, everybody is sleeping, recharging their energy before the roosters crow at dawn. I packed up water and a flashlight. It was calm in the area.
Let's turn on our heads-up display.
I remember the three boys. She started to blush with embarrassment as she tried to defend herself. I'm not sure why, but I didn't laugh. I only recall a chill running down my spine. I tried to hold her gaze, but my instincts told me otherwise. It's already fine. We have to go back.
How's everybody doing today?
I've revoked a deposit several times already. My only guide was their voices. Sometimes they were close.
I have some errands to run today, which I'm not looking forward to because I'm not much of a morning person. Like,
I called again before my foot hit a heavy branch on the ground, knocking me down. I quickly shook off the mud and stood up. My knees were somewhat sore.
I have some things I would like to do.
Now more distant. But still,
Being is that like this is the weekend, like
trees.
the children are going to be here to visit, so like
I told myself, please.
slow it down to 30 mile an hour.
I jumped from my spot, my heart in my throat and every nerve on edge from that whisper that sounded like it came from a suffering child. I not even forgave
Hey, I got some requests.
myself.
Okay, up 3-step for the red hall for conductor there, 10 steps. Roger, dropping help here.
I only know that the cold wind and distant lights sometimes remind me of the breeze. If I go back, it will be up.
That's Barstow Yard over there to the right, which, like in a previous video, I ran a train all the way from Bakersfield over to Barstow and parked it in the Barstow receiving yard, which is like right there on the right.
First, we looked at each other, thinking, we racked our brains.
That looks like an approach medium.
We got trapped in
See if I'm right.
but we both knew we'd be hurt. Heavy contractor steel-toed boots, much like her husband.
Let's adjust the.
The line of work he was in. Going forward, the key was Josie, however. That dog knew something wasn't right and had flown into action, barking uproariously to protect us. Don't mess with Rhodesian Ridgeback dogs, ever. Going backward, however, I remember another event from when I was a child. We bought the home as a vacation home in Tahoe, so when we'd come up for Thanksgiving or Christmas, we'd arrive with all of our groceries and bags. I had 4 orders this now, so the home was home.
Right up here on the left is going to be Barstow Amtrak.
My dad and I will repair that one summer.
Is that a red signal?
I was left alone in a hurry to get ready because I didn't want to be alone very long.
Looks that way.
Ghosts I felt living there with us. Upon thinking about this, I heard the door open back up, which startled me at first. But I figured maybe it was someone coming back in to get another toy, or Dad checking to see why it was suddenly so quiet. I happened to be wrong, though, as nobody was in the room, or even in the garage. Hastily,
Yeah, right here. That's the Amtrak station.
someone, not a living someone, mind you, had just spooked me by opening the door. The door I know my sisters had firmly shut. The foundation was rugged, so sometimes the door would be
That's an
shut.
approach.
One last experience I vaguely remember my parents talking about was again.
Can't remember. I think it's 30 mile an hour that you have to slow down to.
Decided to have a slumber party in the dorm room.
Let's see.
Sleepover. We did stay up a little late to where, once again, Dad came back downstairs to tell us to quiet down. We apologized and began getting ready for bed.
Yeah,
Later on,
it's an approach.
I overheard my mom.
Train's exceeding 30 mile an
She
hour.
thought we were all still up.
Well, we're
She was
not.
hearing voices talking. A shiver ran down my spine as I heard her.
So being as that's an approach, the next one's probably going to be a stop.
After being hollered at.
So we're going to slow down even further.
Thank you for sharing your space with us rowdy kids. Disappearing tree. From Keystone.
Just in case you didn't know, and for those who are not familiar with this game, the reason for all these BNSF engines is like this is BNSF territory out here. That and UP Union Pacific. We'll speed back up to 30 mile an hour, and then as soon as we pass that approach medium in front of us, we'll like speed up to 40. And we have it clear, so now we can do track speed, which is 55.
The tour guide said that there had indeed been a Rowan train, which had grown out from the castle's wall. But unfortunately, it had come down in an extremely bad storm in the 1950s. Shocked, I turned to look at my friend and gasped to her under my
So we'll
breath,
try to keep it at 50, or try to keep it at 30 until like the rear of our train passes that signal, and then we'll like speed up to 55.
She mean it fell down in the 50s. I was sure that the castle staff had messed up with the train. Maybe they'd accidentally killed it. Then they had to come up with some ridiculous story of the storm. However, when I also confirmed this information. Not only that, but I also found the only surviving photo of the said Rowan train. It had been taken 2 years prior to its demise, but my
Pretty sure that's an advanced approach.
my folks were planning on enrolling me in a private school in our area. And to be honest,
Approach
I
medium.
hated the idea of it.
Uh,
From the word go. But my mind didn't begin singing the urgent red flag signals the day I visited the school a week or so before I was to start. First of all, the seamstress dress code was on too. I understand modesty, but myself and the other girls were scolded and written up for the most minute of things. Things like being told our skirts were too. Some of my classmates were reprimanded for scooting chairs across the gym floor because it was new place. Just trying to make conversation as the shy person I was entered our major desk. Oh, cool. Looks pretty nice. Once again, the response I received was a nervous look and a quick change of subject. That was certainly weird, but I tried not to dwell on her, walking by the door in the hallway. Every time I would go check, just to ease their little minds, no one would be there. Needless to say, the toxic environment about the place, combined with the paranormal heaviness of the atmosphere, I believe it an emergency. I mean, it's a eviction. Right? Of course, it's only a movie. I convinced myself. But still, the paper was held in the school's lunchroom, which was quite crowded. The gym had many bathrooms, for sure. Thinking back on Carrie, I decided to perform a
BNSF Sector Milestone 732.982. Ambient temperature 55 degrees.
My teacher gave me an odd look and answered, "We used to, but..." Then she stopped before abruptly changing the subject. Alright, that's exhibit A. I continued to deep and honestly,
we have a speed change to 70, so we'll go ahead and increase the throttle and like.
after having a bite to eat, I made my move, asking people.
Granted, that speed change like happened way before this, but I kind of got sidetracked.
But first of all, it had been there for over 50 years to just shut down that way. I felt fortunate that whatever it was, I'd been there to see it. Thank you for tuning in to Unexplained Encounters. If you're not already, follow the message Unexplained Encounters on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, now where you're $5 a month, you get the first 30 days free. There was a kitchen attached to the door. There was a counter lined with Barstows. I walked up the stairs and passed the bathroom. Down the hallway, I entered the room I was supposed to be staying in. I screamed because there, right now, was a little rat. It looked like something had been gnawing on it. Its insides had been smeared all over. I bolted down the stairs, seeing my dad wheeling my grandma's wheelchair into the cabin. "Dad, there's a dead rat in my room," I practically screamed. "If you're old enough, why don't you just go clean it up?" I did just that. I ended up using an entire paper, not sure how that got past me. Well, what's this one doing here? I asked my mother. Probably access to open space. Things to keep floods from coming into the cabin. I sat down on the couch and turned on the TV.
sure this part of the game is like boring as hell because there's like you're driving through the desert and there's really nothing out here except for a road every once in a while and like some businesses every once in a while. Other than that, it's just pretty much all desert. Thought that blinking light was a crossing.
I got up to check things out, expecting to see flames outside, to see or smell smoke, something. When I walked into the living room and looked out, expecting to see the cat, but instead I saw nothing. I stood like that for a moment in the steamy bathroom, wondering what the heck was that.
Especially on this subdivision, you'd almost need to have that larger button because like there's so little happening that it would be hard to stay awake.
Missing items, things hidden under furniture, items moving from room to room. Sometimes I thought maybe the dog had but it didn't explain how they ended up under the sofas, or even in the dishwasher at the back of the counters. Over time, I started to notice that the hallway outside his bedroom was unusually full compared to the rest of the house. It used to give me a complete feeling of dread, to the point where I used to run past his room because I felt so uncomfortable. I would see shadows of something standing. I would see weird things that looked like someone making their own doorway. This got confirmed when I would be in the house. As time went on, I would have terrifying nightmares while staying there. I would dream of things harming my nephew or niece, dreams of being watched. I experienced sleep paralysis regularly, which before this I had not experienced in years. Things continually escalated as the abuse escalated. One night, at almost the peak of the abuse, I was sound asleep, and I was suddenly awakened by something grabbing me. Whatever had grabbed me yanked me hard, leaving marks on my arm. It felt like it was trying to drag me out of bed. I woke up terrified. I started to cry, and I was so scared. I woke up Scott, and he yelled at me to go back to sleep. But I refused. Eventually, once I had calmed down, I did end up going back to sleep, only to wake up an hour or so later. When I woke up, I saw the most terrifying thing. Standing over Scott's side of the bed was an extremely tall man. Unusually tall. He was dressed in a suit-like attire, wearing a bowler top hat. His arms hung by his side, falling well past his knees. His fingers were bony and long. At first, it just stood there, staring, looking at me, before it eventually reached out its hand to grab me. I scrambled back on the bed, towards the wall, trying to escape the thing's grasp. As it came closer, I could feel its fingers brushing my arm, and I began to scream.
Well, we'll call that the end of part 1. So
Just moved.
like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you later.